I'm Stephen Ridgway. Reddit has suffered a security breach, which has exposed internal documents and some source code. In and of itself, it doesn't look like there's a lot of highly confidential information that has gone missing. It does look like it looks like a certain amount of information about contacts and of current and employees and so on. I'm not very articulate today, am I? So yeah, a certain amount of information about current and former employees and contacts that the company's had has gone. Why this is interesting to me is that it is an example of using a fake login portal, a very credible, apparently, login portal, in order to grab username, password, and 2FA key, which is then used to log on to the real site. So, phishing attack targeted at internal employees. Click on the link, get taken to what you expect to see, although it isn't actually the real thing. You then fill in your credential details, which are immediately stolen and passed in the background, used to log into the real account. So yeah, I think it's a good example of this increasing trend to find ways to bypass 2FA. So 2FA is 2FA is a very good way of improving security for logons. However, it is not infallible. As with all things, if we're in an arms race with people that are trying to find ways around this stuff. So, how would you spot this? Probably by being careful about the URL that you're going to, making sure that the website you're on is actually the website you think you're on. That can be spoofed, and if clever adversaries can do things around changing what appears in the URL bar in some browsers. However, if you are logging into your company's back-end systems, then be certain that you really are going to the sites that you expect to go to. Type in the URL or go to a saved link rather than just clicking on something out of an email. So yeah. The Australian government has joined the UK and US in restricting Chinese-made CCTV cameras. So the Australian government is looking to remove Hikvision and Dahua, I don't know quite how it's pronounced, as they have been named as a risk to national security. Obviously, we've got the usual denials from China, but let's be honest, I think there's plenty of information out there now that indicates that at least there is potential for malicious use of these things. So having cameras in secure places that could potentially be giving your information over to foreign governments is not a good thing. So I can't say it's a surprise to see Australia's as well. Not say catching up. This has been they've been talking about these things for a while. But there is now a move to improve security there, which is good. Australia being part of the Five Eyes environment and generally part of trying to keep the Western world safe and secure. And then finally from me today, a heads up that there is a new phishing campaign that is targeting Amazon Web Service logons, and it is done by abusing Google ads to sneak phishing sites into Google search. The campaign was discovered by Sentinel Labs, who noticed that if you do a Google search for AWS, one of the paid ads, the top paid ad appears to be Amazon. The second paid ad appears to be something that is not Amazon, although the URL looks a little bit like it might be associated with Amazon. So if you click on the link, you get taken to you basically get taken to a site where there is a credible looking login page. Asks whether you're root user, IAM user, aims to collect usernames, passwords. So yes, do be aware. The reason that they, at first glance, you might not spot them, you probably would spot them, but you might not spot them, is that the phishing domains are things like aws1-console-login.us or aws-us-west.info. So if you use AWS, you'll recognize those sorts of things as parts of URLs that can crop up sometimes associated with genuine Amazon sites. Usual things here: be careful to know that when you are logging in, it really is the actual login pages. The article that we'll post, an article from Bleeping Computer, has got some screenshots that show that they are quite credible Amazon Web Service fake login pages. You would obviously not want to lose access to the root accounts of your AWS environment. So two things. One is, again, avoid clicking on links unless you know that they're genuine. I am personally very suspicious of anything that crops up in a Google search that says ad next to it. I generally skip past those and go to the actual search results. There are too many fake sites and too many malicious sites that crop up in there. But then, call me paranoid. I only work in cybersecurity. The other thing is, definitely do things like apply 2FA. So, as we said with the earlier today, in the Reddit breach, 2FA is not infallible. However, it does provide another layer of protection in front of your logins. So hopefully that will keep you safe and secure. But yes, just be aware of this if you are administering things in AWS. There is a campaign at the moment to trick you into sharing your root and your root account details and usernames and passwords. That is everything from me today. Hope you have had a good week. Hope you have a great weekend, and I shall speak to you all again on Monday.